As fitness entrepreneurs of color, it's essential to understand the challenges we face in building powerful brand messaging within the fitness industry. Our journey is marked with unique obstacles, but with the right approach, we can create impactful and inclusive brand messaging that resonates with our communities and clients. Listen in as I share tips for creating messaging that speaks to your audience and also advocates for a more diverse and inclusive fitness industry. Hey everyone, I'm in today for a quick chat, and today's talk is all about the challenges of messaging for fitness entrepreneurs of color. We're breaking barriers in the fitness industry, so in turn, we break barriers in branding, and it can get quite challenging to build a strong brand in this industry. And it's the strong brand that leads to vibrant, sustainable success. So, although the fitness industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, in spite of this rise, it has historically lacked diversity and inclusive representation. Yes, we went through a period in 2020 during the pandemic and the George Floyd murder where there was a temporary heightened awareness put on the need for diversity and inclusivity in general, and then particularly in the fitness industry. But again, we know that the fitness industry is quite trendy and jumps on the bandwagon of whatever is the thing in the moment at that time. And that is basically what the fitness industry did. So as the years pass, we're now seeing less and less effort for really wholeheartedly and authentically pursuing diversity and inclusion at a meaningful level within the fitness industry. Now, one of the things I've noticed is that along the way, I have seen more and more Black and brown fitness businesses and brands and influencers. All of that has emerged in the spotlight, and we're prominently seeking and creating opportunities within the fitness industry as fitness enthusiasts and fitness entrepreneurs. So we're seeking these opportunities, and we're also creating these opportunities that are very much needed. So hopefully we'll see more and more awareness and more seeking out and actually patronizing these services and products by our community and others. So I applaud this uptick and I see it as a plus, but there still remains a long way to go, because just because these businesses are here, these opportunities are here, and we may be seeing more Black and brown faces, it's simply not enough. There are still many challenges with getting the viability and the support that is needed to really thrive in this industry. And as fitness entrepreneurs, businesses, and influencers of color, when you're trying to get this needed visibility, as you're trying to get more customers and clientele, you tend to face a couple of challenges, particularly in creating your brand identity and proper messaging. And I'll address this later because it's extremely challenging when you are the face of your business, right? So not only that, but it's just hard enough to get visibility in general in this industry that you can't even put it lightly. It is what it is. It lacks diversity and inclusivity. All right, fitness, the idea of fitness, I should say, has often been portrayed through an extremely narrow lens, particularly in the look of fitness and who fitness is for. So we as Black and brown fitness entrepreneurs, we must navigate through stereotypes, cultural barriers, and systemic biases for not only ourselves, but also for the diverse communities we serve, to create brands that represent, respect, and resonate with our communities or whatever our target audience may be. So today, I want to take a minute out to just talk a little bit about the difficulties that you may encounter and give you a couple of tips that can help you not feel so burdened and overwhelmed or alone, and to actually be able to overcome some of these challenges. Okay, 1, you're going to have to address stereotypes and misconceptions about who fitness is for. As a fitness entrepreneur of color, you're going to often face stereotypes and misconceptions that can hinder your messaging efforts, okay? It's no secret society has preconceived notions about the ideal fitness professional. Again, particularly what they look like and their approach to fitness. And breaking the stereotypes can be an uphill battle. It may take you extra effort to assert your expertise and authenticity as being a fitness entrepreneur or a fitness professional as you work to dismantle the misconception that fitness is limited to certain racial or ethnic groups and or body types within these racial ethnic groups, right? Second, you're going to have to find a way to balance cultural identity and universality, particularly if you plan to have a broad audience that maybe goes beyond your immediate community. And this is important. Striking a balance between celebrating your cultural identity and appealing to a broader audience can be extremely challenging. You may want to infuse your unique cultural elements into your brand, but you also strive to connect with clients from diverse backgrounds that may not share or understand these cultural elements, right? And they can even occur within individuals from your own particular background. So finding a middle ground that embraces cultural diversity while remaining inclusive to all is a delicate and often challenging task, okay? This we know. Another challenge you may face is overcoming a lack of representation. And this is a big one. This is one that everyone talks about, right? The lack of representation, especially for fitness entrepreneurs of colors, and mainstream media and advertising can make it extraordinarily difficult for you to get visibility and recognition and build a brand. So doing so requires establishing a strong presence, and the absence of representation can actually be very discouraging. You're going to need to be very, very, very proactive. And you're going to have to seek out opportunities to showcase your expertise and experiences. And you may find that these opportunities are limited. So, yes, you're going to create your own opportunities, but you must also find a way to get into other spaces. This is highly important. Please, yes, create your own opportunities, but at the same time, we got to get that representation in as professionals, as entrepreneurs, as leaders. So we're going to have to find a way to get into these other spaces. And you want to get into the current spaces that are most visible. So again, that you can be a representative, and also so that there's representation, but that we start changing the face of fitness, okay? Because it's not going to happen. If it was going to happen, it would have happened. There's really no effort to make it happen. So we have to change the face of fitness ourselves. And that face of fitness includes you and your community. So we got to get in there. And we got to be the representation that we don't see and that is needed for others. Okay, another challenge. And this one, again, you're going to encounter a lot. It's going to be navigating microaggressions and discrimination. So there's a lack of diversity and representation overall. But then within that, there are these little microaggressions and acts of discrimination that are directed right at you. And some are subtle and others are not. And sometimes there's just no veil in between, right? It's not a guess or uncertainty. It's blatant. You are being told. You can instantly feel that you are being excluded or dismissed. It's not even a sense of, oh, did we miss something? It's like, no, we did not invite you. So these type of actions, as you're trying to build up your business, your presence, these actions can undermine your confidence and credibility, right? So these experiences can negatively, impact your brand messaging and make it challenging to project a positive and authentic image, okay? Because then you start thinking, well, maybe I need to do this or I need to do that. But what I want to tell you is don't let it happen, okay? You're going to overcome that. You're going to get past that. You're going to look past that. You're going to know what that is. And then you're not going to let it affect you. All right. Next, I really want to talk about engaging with diverse audiences. When you're trying to craft messaging that effectively resonates with diverse audiences, it can really be a complex task. And something you may not have thought of is that you have to be mindful, especially as a fitness entrepreneur of color, of cultural nuances and ensure that your messages are relatable and inclusive to individuals from different backgrounds. And I touched on it a little bit earlier. For example, just because you may identify as Black doesn't mean you automatically resonate or connect with other persons that identify as Black. There are differences and cultural nuances between you and other Black individuals. You may be African American. Maybe some of your clients are considered Black Brits, or maybe they're from the Caribbean and other places. So you actually have to take that into account, that while everyone may identify as Black, there are still cultural nuances between where somebody's from and what they do. And this could go even from, if you're in the US, if you're East Coast, South, Midwest, West, you know this, right? So you take that into account. And of course, we're going to talk about inclusivity as a whole, far as people within these racial and ethnic groups, such as gender, sexuality, even socioeconomic status. But particularly, even when you are thinking of just being of a particular racial or ethnic group, you have to understand that within this group, and I'm using identifying as Black as an example, that being Black in America, in Europe, and in the Caribbean may mean different things. And there are different cultural nuances that each individual possesses and has that you need to be mindful of, right? So just being a minority or from an underrepresented community isn't enough, okay? So you still have to make sure that you are being inclusive and practicing the same thing you're asking everyone else to do, diversity and inclusivity. Lastly, but it's one that I still need you to do regardless of the challenge, is advocating for inclusivity and representation while navigating your own messaging. So there, again, are challenges as a fitness entrepreneur. You may also become advocates for greater inclusivity and representation in the fitness industry. And I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. So this is slightly different than what you're offering. This is actually being an advocate, not even just having representation, being the representation, or that your clientele or your clients, customers are of color or of a minority group or underrepresented group, but to actually be and become an advocate for greater inclusivity and representation in the fitness industry. And of course, this responsibility, it adds another layer of complexity to your brand messaging as you strive to inspire positive change. So it's that next level up from just being authentically who you are and having this vision for your communities and maybe communities of color. It goes that next step of being an advocate for these communities. So with that, let's talk about how to overcome these challenges, right? I gave you a lot of challenges that you may face. And despite these obstacles, as I mentioned above, you can overcome these challenges and develop powerful brand messaging that leaves an impact. It's just going to take a little bit of work. Unfortunately, that's the nature of what we have to do. But if we want to see it, we're going to have to put the work in. We have to make it happen. So I'll give you 5 things that you can actually do. Number 1, it involves authenticity and transparency. What I want you to do is embrace your authentic selves. I want you to share your personal journey because this allows you to connect genuinely with your audience and it helps dispel stereotypes. 2, I want you to embrace wholeheartedly, fully. I want you to embrace cultural diversity, celebrating cultural diversity in your brand messaging. And that'll help create a sense of inclusivity. And it also empowers your community and clients from all backgrounds to engage with their fitness journey. And that is so important. And that also leads me to 3, community building. Creating a supportive community that celebrates diversity and inclusivity helps build a loyal following and promotes positive word of mouth marketing for you. Plus, when you create this supportive community, it also goes beyond just celebrating diversity and inclusivity. It creates safe spaces that empower people to embrace, embark upon, and even elevate their fitness journey. And isn't that why most of us get into it, right? So you're not only inspiring others, but you're creating this supportive community, this space that's safe for them to actually move on their fitness journey, to stay in it, to come to it, embark on it, stay with it, elevate it, all right? With that being said, it's leading me to number 4, collaboration and networking. Partner with like-minded individuals and organizations because this could help you amplify your brand's reach and promote diversity within the fitness industry, right? And this means not only partnering with those in your immediate community, please do, but especially collaborating and networking with those who are wholeheartedly and authentically trying to elevate you and your communities in the fitness industry. And hopefully they're also serving your community and diverse backgrounds. Because with this, basically what I'm trying to say is that we're going to need to be again, and I mentioned this earlier, you're going to have to be involved in the fitness industry. Like we can't just have this separate faction just segment, was what I'm trying to say, of, and I shouldn't have said fraction of the community to have it. We need to get inside of the fitness industry. So we're going to have to work with others who are already there. So there are some individuals and organizations and companies that are wholeheartedly and authentically trying to elevate you and your communities. So those are the ones that we're going to have to collaborate and network in, all right, to get and promote more diversity within the fitness industry. So lastly, and I get caught up on that one a lot because that's a big one. We have to do our part, but we have to influence others to work with us and to also help us and to do things on their own as well and continually do it and to do it wholeheartedly and authentically. All right, again. Number five. Almost there, looking at my tip sheet here. Education and advocacy. If you're going to represent. Use your platform to educate others about the importance of diversity and representation in fitness, because this is what contributes to positive change and greater acceptance. We cannot rely on others to make things diverse and inclusive. So this is what I was mentioning. It was like there are points where we work on our own in our own little segment, and then we work with others. But while we are trying to work with others, we also cannot wait around, right? We can't wait on others because we see how well that has been going and how fast and massive that has not happened or become, right? So yes, we are fitness entrepreneurs of colors, but just being a fitness entrepreneur of color is not enough, okay? Unfortunately, to affect positive change and greater acceptance in the fitness industry, we're actually going to have to make it happen by taking that extra step to educate and advocate. Mentioned that earlier. Yes, I know that it is an added complexity. It could be a burden, but it's a burden we have to bear. But our community, our community is so amazing and deserves to be recognized and included within this industry. So this is something that we continuously work to see realized. All right. Again, always on my soapbox, right? So let me wrap up here. By proactively addressing the challenges and obstacles I mentioned and using your experiences as a catalyst for change, as a fitness entrepreneur of color, you can really create powerful and inclusive brand messaging that inspires and motivates your community and clients from all walks of life, okay? So remember, your determination to break barriers and promote diversity in the fitness industry, that paves the way for a more inclusive and representative future. So I'm so excited. I applaud you and I support you, and I can't wait to witness the amazingness and success you bring for yourself, as well as the success that you bring for your community and clients. Hey, visionary fitness entrepreneurs, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. And also, we want you to join our newsletter for more tips on how to elevate and legally protect your fitness and wellness business. Visit us at fitpowerfully.com.